Task 1. Task 2. Task 3. Task 4. In my task 1 code, first I converted my home page class into a stateless widget and it cleaned all of the variables and functions that came with the default project of the Flutter. Next, I wrote the build function of it. I returned the scaffold as a scaffold of the page. Next, I added the app bar at the top of the screen by using the app bar property. Define its color and text here. And next, to be able to place the elements as shown in the screenshot, I decided to use a combination of center and column widgets. I use center to be able to place the elements at the center of the screen. I used column to place an element under the other one by one as shown here. Next, as the column's children, I defined the necessary five text elements and the elevated button. Uh, the onPressed property of the elevated button does nothing for now. For the further tasks, I will be implementing the necessary functionality. In my task 2 code, first I extracted the elevated button widget from the build function of my homepage class by right-clicking on it. Uh, Next, I converted its stateless widget property to stateful widget and start to define necessary additional class and create state function. So in the create state part, I named state class as number finder state. Next, I define the number finder state class and define my random integer variable as a nullable integer named random. The reason I made it nullable is I needed to set it to -1 at the beginning of the application as initially. So I need to use the lifecycle function in state. So I needed to assign it to -1 in init state. Because of that, I used nullable integer. As I said, I assigned the variable to the -1 in the init state function. Uh, to to have random variables each time I press the find out button, I created a function called create random integer. So the key point here is I need to use the set state function of the Flutter. If I don't use set state, even though when I press the button, find out button, the number changes, but it is not present on the screen because the state is not shown. I need to reload each time. Because of that, I use the set state function. The function uses the random class of the Dart and creates a random variable and between the interval within the interval, sorry, that is wanted in the task 2 and assigns the value to the variable I created. So in the build function part, as wanted, I wrap the right button with a column and add the text widget at below of it, which shows the value, random value. Let's have a hot restart and start from the beginning. It came as -1, and when I pressed on the button countless times, it changes all the time. In task 3's code, I tried to write the necessary for loop by taking several approaches. I tried to write it in the children property of column or outside of the children column, but couldn't succeed. Even though I wrote a syntax correct for loop, I only got the hello text 100 times and the other stuff one time at the end of the page. So I decided to create them at once. To achieve, I took the text widgets from here, from the children, and pasted them into the number finders build function, so I could create them once. Additionally, as 100 widgets wouldn't fit in the page, I decided to use a single child scroll view to achieve scrollability. Other than that, I use the spread operator in the children property of the column, since I would return a list of widgets and I put square brackets, since I said I will return a list of widgets, as can be seen here. Inside the square brackets, I wrote my for loop that iterates 100 times and creates my number finder instance 100 times, as can be seen here. There is no overflow, and I got the scrollability, and all the buttons are working fine. Issue task 4, I needed to change the existing code significantly. First, I want to explain the number finder extracted widget. As I previously explained, I uh, also printed the text widgets on the screen by using this extracted widget, but I needed to change this approach since the hello what is the number part is not asked to present on the light blue side of the screen. So first I took the text items from the number finder widget. Then I made a research and I learned that I can use nested spread operators. So I wrote the for loop into the first one and used the second spread operator to return a list of widgets, as I've previously done by using the one spread operator. So I'm basically returning this widget list 100 times. As I said, the texts widgets are returned inside the second spread operator. So the remaining parts of the code I will explain includes the top and bottom colored boxes. So, as wanted in the paper, the colored boxes were occupying all the whole width of the screen. To achieve my goal, I used the cross-axis alignment property of the column. For the remaining parts of the code, I made significant changes to the my own page class as well, actually to its build method. I was using a single child scroll view as its body because I needed to use only one part on one column. So since there are additional widgets to be present on the screen, it became unpractical since only accepts one child. So first I changed the body to a column, and next I started to define its children. First, the top colored box was defined, but it was not occupying the whole width. Because of that, I changed the cross-axis alignment prop of the property of the column to cross-axis alignment dot stretch. Then it had this form. Next, I defined the bottom color box, as can be seen here. Next, I started to define the other widgets. It is wanted to this scrollable area that includes 100 number finders and the related texts to be occupying 2 or 3 proportion of the screen, and this light blue area to occupy 1/3 proportion of the screen. Actually, not the screen. These two widgets, these two parts, are occupying the available space of the screen. What is available space? Remaining area from the top and bottom color boxes. So I needed to use expanded widgets to be able to divide the remaining space. So first, actually, I copied this part from existing code without this part, as I explained previously. I grabbed the single child scroll wheel with an expanded widget and gave the flex factor as 2, since 2/3 proportion of the available space needed to be divided, and gave its child as the single child scroll view, and the existing parts are copied and paste. I used directly, didn't change anything. Only this part is changed. I explained this previously. Next, the remaining 1/3 parts needed to be a light blue colored box and needed to return a number finder. So I used an expanded widget again. I gave its flex factor 1 as 1/3 of the remaining space, available space needed to be used. But actually, it is not a must, it's optional, because if we give nothing to this parameter, the widget, the child actually, it decides its own size. Next, I define the color box that its background is colored as light blue accent, and I give the color box its child as a number finder that returns this button and number parts, random number parts. Evidence for task 1. This is the base version of my project starting here. Let's see the first changes. Here I removed the comments, it seems, and a white space. Next, I converted the widget into a status widget, the class into a status widget actually. It removes all the other functions and variables, it seems. Here I'm starting to implement the UI. In some point, I needed to go back and forth with the base version of code. I need to look up to the base version of code since I needed to add the app bar to the application. So this should be recorded as well. Here I'm trying to implement the UI, it seems, by using the column widgets, which I couldn't achieve at first way because I forgot the center widget and the text placed at the top left of the screen, which is not asked. Here I'm going back and forth, it seems, as I explained. Let's go further. I've gone forward, it seems, and continuing, and I added the center widget here to place the text at the top center of the screen. And I guess I will continue to play with code after this point, but this was the end of the task. But let's go further. I added the const keyword for performance as that suggested here as well. So further. Here I removed this comment. Also, I'm trying to understand background color property of the app bar, it seems. By the way, the rest of the content is still here, but it was not shown initially. Now I added it back, it seems. Let's go further. I don't know what the difference is there. Main X alignment property, it seems. I removed the center widget at first time to have an experiment. With this main X alignment center property, in the first place, I thought I may place the text at the center of the screen, but it wasn't like that. I placed the text into the center of the column, which was placed at the top left, not top left, at the left of the page. So I wrapped with the center widget at the end as well. So what I've done here, as I said, I wrapped with center once more. And I guess that there's no difference with the last version. Yes, there's no significant change. I removed white spaces, added my still number as comments. Also, in the end, I removed this property as well, as it has no functionality with this version of the app, but it's not seen. I don't know why. Yes, the right side is the last version of the task one. I removed the team property of the material app. I actually experimented what will happen if I remove this, and not happened, and I decided to stick with the removed version. And this is the end of my task one. Task 2 evidence. Since it's next like the task one's history as well, let me find the the correct file first. I think it starts from here. Let's have a look what I done. As seen here, I extracted the elevated button widget as number finder widget and its default status widget. And next, let's go a bit further. Next, I'm here trying to make it a stateful widget. I use the stateful abbreviation of the Dart, which I use in my project development, to look up to the code what I need to do. So we'll see that in the further steps. It's the default implementation that Dart gives after the stateful widgets keyword is written. Let's look to the other steps. Here I'm defining the number finder state class, but there's a syntax error. I'm calling the class as like it's a function. If I recognize it later on, I need to put parentheses here. Let's go further. Here I'm trying to do my job, but I couldn't. It seems I rolled back the change I made. So as I said, I'm looking to the code and I write stateful. This is the code, and this is my number finder class code. I'm trying to look and understand what I'm doing wrong here. And let's jump a little bit further. As seen, I corrected my syntax and put the necessary text widget here and wrote hey to understand if it's placed correctly. I'm playing with the code still. So jump a little bit further. Here, I'm trying to do the initialization part. As I said, I made the variable null and set it to my son at the beginning in its state. So here I'm showing it on the screen by using this annotation. I'm about to define the create random integer function here. I will change its place after I remember. Let's jump a little further. Yes, as I said, I changed its place and create the implementation. I used the states as I explained. I think it's about to finish. I'm trying to set the interval correctly. I tried several values to obtain the different interval values here. Nothing changed in the implementation. Yes, I tried to remove set state. What will happen if I remove set state? Just to be sure. When I remove the set states, I needed to make a hard reload each time after pressing. So I guess that's the end. This is the finalized version of my code. For test 2. Evidence for test 3. I started working on test 3 today because I think this is the first file before I started to work. As can be seen, I'm just playing with the UI. Since I needed to replace the content in the top left of the screen, actually the left of the screen, I needed to remove the center here because I removed it. I'm just trying to achieve my goal. I didn't do anything new here, it seems. Let's go a little bit further. So as I said in my explanation, I'm trying to write a for loop that I can achieve until I extracted the items. Here I'm trying to achieve my goal by defining a widget list in the homepage class, but it didn't work either because I couldn't find a way to represent it 100 times. So let's go a bit further. Here it seems I'm trying to achieve my goal again by reverting the changes I made. As I'm seeing, there's no widget list variable here. Sorry, widget list here. So it seems I'm again starting to write the for loop. The syntax is correct, but I couldn't show the widget list here 100 times. So I continued. I tried to represent the content by, again, writing it like this. Instead of the list, I wrote all the elements into the for loop, but I got only 100 hellos and one, what is the number, and the elevated button and number part of the UI. After that, I extracted the widgets, sorry, text widgets, and I achieved my goal, but it is not shown here yet. Let's see the last file. I don't know what external change means. I don't do anything, but yes, it seems I took the text elements from here to number finders build function, as I said. After that, I returned 100 number finders and achieved my goal eventually. Proof for the task 4. I guess I started this task from here. Yes, this is the first version of the file. Let's see a difference. Here I'm trying to put another child inside the column widget because I misunderstood the instructions at the beginning. I put 2 color boxes below and above of this widget list of where the loop is iterating. I thought that it would occupy the whole screen, but it even didn't appear on the screen. So let's go further. As I said, I'm trying to put color boxes. I'm jumping because there are logs that only shows space changings, etc. The only important stuff. As seen, I removed the color box here. So I'm trying several properties of the, I guess, column or the single transfer view. No, I'm trying to use the properties of scaffold. I thought that maybe this property may make the color box appear, but it didn't work. I was just playing with code. Next, I tried to put block dividers to have that there will be one more widget, but it didn't work either. So I'm just playing the code as seen. Stuff. Here, I'm trying to, again, it seems put the color boxes by trying to make them stretch the whole width by defining the cortex alignment. But these color boxes didn't appear on the screen as well. So I guess I jumped to important parts. Here I'm doing nothing, just playing with the UI, it seems. I don't think I wrapped it yet. I wrapped the child with the necessary column. Yes, I did. Let's jump a little bit further. Let me see the rest. Yes, I'm just trying to see the color boxes, but I didn't see it. I didn't see them in any parts. In Undercut, I think I'm doing Control D to have the previous version of the code. So I'm still playing the code. Let's jump a little bit further. Yes, in this step, it seems I wrapped the signature scroller with column to achieve my goal to make the color boxes appear, and I make them appear in this step, I guess. Next, yes, here I'm defining the necessary expanded widgets by wrapping the signature scroller with an expanded widget by dividing it. But I guess I jumped the necessary extract widget part I explained. I don't know what it is. Like maybe I made it further. Yes, I made the extracting from the number finder and pasting it into the loop here, but I couldn't achieve my goal here as seen. This loop only will return hello 100 times and other ones one time. So I will fix that soon, I guess. Yes, I have found a solution here by using two spread operators. Here I'm returning this widget list 100 times. Let's jump a little further. Yes, I'm making the last division here by making the blue color box occupying the remaining available space, which is 1/3 proportion. And I guess there is no significant change after that. As I wrote just comments. Let's look at the last differences. At last, I defined the main-axis alignment property of the number finders column as main-axis alignment center because the button and random number part need to be appear at the center of the screen as the other iterations do.